Guys, it's Chrome and I want to go over this pretty unique game of Warcraft 3 played by the Knight of Zhang Jieho, better known as Maker's Moon, of course. And in the top we have the young Grasshopper Hazys playing as Undead. He's a pretty strong random player as of yet. I think he has chosen the Undead faction. Also, yes, I have seen this game already. It was played some months ago. However, I find this one pretty special for what is Hazys playing. I was actually a little bit surprised when I saw what he is pulling out of his head. Like, this is pretty unusual for all the top undeads. Even though, you know, 1-0, he likes to play stuff like this. Happy not so much. But yeah, we're gonna see in a moment what this is all about. As far as the early game, nothing too crazy will happen. In fact, let's speed things up a little bit. Standard Decay, Standard Demon Hunter. Demon Hunter gets a claw. Hazys has actually solved his town portal, getting a rod and ritual dagger. Tech is coming, same as from Moon, who is like 6, 7, 8 seconds quicker. Is he attempting the shop? Demon Hunter harassment, not so great so far. Little bit of mana burn shenanigans. Ritual dagger has been popped. So far, pretty okay-ish items for the second hero.
A player's forces are under attack.
Gauntlets and the claw for the Demon Hunter. Circlet, I think he bought the circlet, and 2 gloves for the Death Knight. Slightly better for the Death Knight, in my opinion. I mean, after all, he will be the Lich. Una snacking away Hazys Ogre Mage from natural. Was it actually the Cloak of Shadows? Must have been. Hazys finding himself a Scroll of the Beast. He sells this one right away, gets another circlet. Yeah, tiny little bit of a creep jack, if you can call it like that. I think he actually stole nothing. So what's the item? Hearthstone. Amazing, of course, to counter a little bit of the Coil Nova shenanigans. Ultra Vision is coming. Same as the Naga, of course. Lich, 15 seconds. And Hazys. First slaughterhouse, same as the first Temple of the Damned. We see this occasionally from the Undead called TBCBM. However, he plays his caster style much different than in this game. From TBC, it's a lot about low numbers, low supply numbers, toying around with Unholy Frenzy, Cripple, maybe a bit of Anti-Magic Shell, and Curse, of course. Maybe adding a frost worm here and there. But once again, TBC is playing this in relatively low numbers. And Moon, he actually decided to pop the Healthstone early on. Like, in my opinion, this was a little bit unnecessary. Heroes were even not having great mana values anymore. Sorry guys, let's see this again. Let's skip forward really quick. It was 7 minutes mark.
Our warriors have engaged. Your building is complete. Your building is complete. Your building upgrade is complete. Finished. Research your building. Your building is more complete. Your building is. Our warriors have engaged. Your building is complete. Your building is complete. Your building upgrade is finished. Research your building is complete.
Okay, let's see. Death Knight out of mana. Lich is 1 at 175. Demon Hunter 289 health. Frost Nova level 1, absolutely not enough. Well, nah, I guess he was right. Debatable.
Our warriors have engaged the enemy.
May he saw too much follow-up damage from the ghouls.
Players' forces are under attack.
Naga level 2, Moon getting quite a bit done from Hazys' sides of like of his spot. And also the second Ogre Mage going to Moon. Almost denied the Archer, not quite.
A player's forces are under attack.
Wisp for the detonate, however no skeletons in range. So what's up in Hazys' base? First Necromancer, first Obsidian Statue. Skeletal Mastery and Adept upgrade already finished.
Attack.
This one actually takes 60 seconds instead of, what is it for the rest of the casters? 90 or 75 seconds. So this is one of the fastest caster upgrades in the game. I think even the mastery is not that much, doesn't take that much longer. It might actually be also 60 seconds. Maybe 75.
A player's forces are under attack.
This Granite Golem pretty effective against the ghouls, and feels like Hazy is struggling with the spot. Using a ghoul. And Moon comes with the flank attack. I think uses another ghoul. Clutch moment. Can't even tell who got it. I think Hazy got it. but item went to Moon. In this case, it was the Helm of Valor. Amazing for the Demon Hunter, especially in this matchup. And this would also have been amazing for the Lich.
A player's forces
I know it doesn't give intelligence, but the tiny little bit of agility, or attack speed I should say, together with what he already has, in my opinion, kind of amazing. Also 125 bonus HP, not so bad. From the Helm of Valor, I mean. However, more Obsidian statues, more Necromancer coming in. Boneyard is ready, and as soon as he got the gold, he clicked the Frost Worm.
A player's forces are under attack.
Orb is ready. Destroyer form might also have been done. So, pretty impactful mana burns. Hazy pretty much dry, and right before the next call can be done, burns the mana away. Frost Armor it is, at least to push the Demon Hunter a little bit away.
A player's forces are under attack.
Currently I don't have an overlay, so it might be level 2 mana burn, 2 levels of immolation for the Demon Hunter, so in this case, Talisman of Evasion is of course amazing.
A player's forces are under attack.
Necromancer and Statue Army is Raisin. This was the Disease Cloud upgrade, just finished. Now the first meat wagon. First Frostworm is out, and yet he decides
A
to
player's
push.
forces are under attack.
Moon attempting the red spot. This would be another amazing item for him. Yeah, and I remember this one. This was a somewhat questionable decision from Hazy to even engage here, because he has like very little chance to get the last hit. Necromancer is all magic damage, same as Frostworm. Grand Golem being magic immune, so normally Lich being one of the best last hitters in this game, but for the Granite Golem, not so much. Magic immunity it is, so wasn't the greatest decision for Hazy to trying to engage. However, I guess he pretty much wanted to show up to even may his tiny little chance would have been paid off. Didn't happen. And yeah, Legion Doomhorn for the Demon Hunter it is. Is now not exactly a level 1 Unholy Aura anymore. A little bit worse. However, considering that Dryads cannot be slowed by Triple or the Frostworms, it's still kind of amazing. Calling over it's a Demon Hunter, and because he has of course a little bit more HP, it's less effective. Disease Cloud all over the place, same as Skeletons, and Mooney was absolutely ready with the Wisp detonates. Disease Cloud has been spread, but not perfectly.
A player's forces
A little bit of repair going off, as you Should do it. Yeah, Tree of Life has been established. Mining for around about over a minute. And this, of course, very beneficial for the relatively low-cost dryads.
A player's forces are under attack.
Yeah, so meat wagons, necromancer, statues, and frostworm it is. Level 4 Death Knight, level 3 Lich. And 5-4 Heroes for Moon. Wisp streaming in. One got executed if I saw this correctly. More have been detonated. And here I feel like Hazy lost a little bit of his control, of his hero control. Heroes in the front taking a ton of damage. Yet all those meat wagon shots getting something done. Lich got killed. I think this could have been evaded. Costly rebought from the tavern.
A player's forces are under attack.
Focus fire from the dryads on the skeletons, not so effective. Of course you want to use abolish magic, but over time this may deplete all those dried ladies, dried women. So there is an opportunity to kind of dry them out. Blasted by Hazy, long range coil. Now he's summoning more and more skeletons. As of yet, tons of wisps, and he micros nicely against it. Demon Hunter a little bit out of position, but wasn't also not really punished for it. And once again, Hazy is driving his Death Knight pretty much off guard. Has to pop his invo. Avoidable mistake in my opinion. Same as losing the Frostworm. Like the best friend of the Frostworms, of course, the trees. If this would have been microed better, the worms could become close to untouchable. On Hazys Cloud, spread is kind of nice, still not perfectly. Let's see.
A town is under siege.
Okay, it is almost perfect. Pretty much all dryads have been Hazys Clouds.
Are under attack.
150 damage that cannot be dispelled. So roundabout, I mean, it is the value of a healing scroll. Focus fire by the meat wagons against a moving target, not so great, as the radius decreasing the damage quite drastically. However, if these 4 meat wagons hit the dryads pretty much in their beautiful face, it might one-shot them.
A player's forces are under attack.
And Moon, he's getting more and more ahead in terms of economy. Also 5 heroes. Yet in terms of army composition, debatable who's ahead. Of course, you can technically micro against those meat wagon shots, but not so easy over time. Like to do it repetitively. Nice find with that kill on the entangled gold mine. 1 minute of mining denied. Much needed for Hazy, as he's still far behind, at least in terms of economy. More statues coming. Base looking pretty well built up. And here the Demon Hunter was crippled for a pretty long time, if I saw this correctly. Moon, he might has clicked Abolish Magic on manual cast, and once again Death Knight, being in a terrible position, had to TP out. Don't want to call this mistake avoidable, but like these details in hero positioning that might distinguish Hazy from 1-0. Like how I see it currently, 1-0, he may or may not has, like in my opinion, he had already played this quite a lot, tested it, but he may not believe in it as a result. We don't see it from him. Like this unit and army composition. It is strong, yes, but it is very tough to micro. Like all those little details, microing the necros away, the skeletons, finding the correct target, hero safetiness, frost worms over the forest, casting the correct, like finding the correct timing for the cripple, then maybe even find the correct decision making in terms of sniping expansions. Not so easy to execute strategy from Hazy. Yeah. First Metamorphosis has been popped, and Hazy blasted away the Tree of Eternity. Of course, this was a strong find, a strong move. However, it costed him the town portal. Natural is now empty. He's trying to re-expand, but it's getting tough, as Moon's Tree of Life was, you know, didn't cost any gold. And it's now fully saturated. You love to see it. Next fight, Frost Worms once again not really over the forest. And look how slow it was. Frost Arrow and Dried Slow. Demon Hunter untouched. And once again, Death Knight. Of course, you want to tank with him, but also you want to be safe with him. Everything has been Disease Cloud. Moon still ahead in hero levels, same as in economy. I mean, now it's one base against one base, which for the most part is beneficial for the undead. However, this composition doesn't make it so easy. Hazy trying to spread the disease cloud already right before the fight. One Dryads not so sure what the upgrades on the meat wagons are. This is like not an ideal solution, like showing all the corpses and not the damage values and upgrades anymore.
A player's forces are under attack.
0-0 on the frost worms. Master on the necromancer, of course. I guess it's 0-0 for the meat wagons. Next metamorphosis, and Moon, he wants to push. He even has to push. And those dryads, they look like they want to die from some meat wagon shots, but Moon even popped a healing scroll right before, like some seconds ago, because of course he saw the one-shot potential. Master Bear is caring about the economy, and Hazy, he is against the ropes. Like, still, in my experience, you can never count out the chaos and the damage from the meat wagons, same as potential Coil Novas. Yeah, and Moon portals out here. What I mean is, of course, it looked very good for Moon, but sometimes the undead can pretty much flip the table if there is Blight, if there is Nerubian Tower up. So I guess, after all, totally correct call by Moon to TP out, even though cooldown for Coil Nova was needed some seconds still. Haunted Goldmine, absolutely dead edge, and he's selling
Forces are
the
under
Black
attack.
Citadel, but would take 100 additional seconds to get the Haunted up back again. Yeah, and those two Frost Rims pretty much dead right away when they were popping out of the boneyard. Like, let's be real, these 1350 HP, it sounds amazing, but when they are against piercing damage, of course you have to cut the value in half, and then it looks a little bit different. 700 HP, pretty laughable. Let's run about like a grunt, a flying grunt with freezing attacks. And of course, once again, Death Knight being maybe a little bit too far in the front. Executes the kill without getting too much done. You know, I guess Hazy coming from the top, maybe he was a little bit too much in a click ground type of mode because he wasn't expecting Moon to be that ready. And he might lost a little bit of control of attention, giving Moon the tiny slight bit of an edge that he needed. Of course, he has Metamorphosis in a moment again. Like, if Hazy would have, let's say, pushed Moon away, not exactly calling this winning the fight, but just pushing him away against back into the Moon Wells, which are dry now, of course. And if those meat wagons connect with the Tree of Life, it's pretty much dead in a few seconds. Yeah, feels actually kind of close in the end. But yes, of course, Death Knight. Damage, no Unholy Aura anymore. We have a tornado. Tornado. Like for real, this looked like a pretty promising attempt. All in all those tiny little mistakes from Hazy ending up being quite significant. Losing the Frostworm, not flying it over the forest, having to TP out with the Death Knight one time, maybe a second time. Let's say it would have saved the Frostworm, maybe a second one, a little bit better. It would have saved a little bit of money, and maybe he would have been able to expand earlier, or let's say buy another item, or find another place for another Frostworm or Meat Wagon. Yeah, who knows if this would go the other way around. I actually like this game a lot, considering how unique it was. And just recently, I saw him pull this one off again. Very sameish idea, very sameish attempt. Yet Moon was on one base. And, you know, I would like to say he was kind of stomped, but Hazy, he found an amazing surround with skeletons on a level 5 Demon Hunter, leading to a kill. Of course, you cannot expect these things, especially not against someone like Moon. However, it was working. So, to be fair, I see it like this. It is strong, yet it is really tough to execute. Strong potential, but very fragile. I guess this is also very much in the idea of Undead. Yeah, I would like to see this more often from Hazy. May even from 1 to 0. Alright, so far to this game. And I guess I still need to work on a lot of things casting wise. But I still don't know how much of casting I want to do. As you know, I'm a slow talker, I'm stuttering quite heavily here and there. I have a coughing that's really weird at times. So I really don't know how much I want to cast or not. But anyway, thanks for watching. This was a very nice game in my opinion. Yeah. If you like what you are seeing, you can feel free to drop a sub. If not, then not. And yeah. Thanks for watching. I'm out. See you in the future.